Okay, let's start before diving deep in affiliate marketing. Let's start from kind of affiliate Mythbusters rapid fire. I will throw you a statement and you will tell me myth or fact. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, let's
Okay,
go.
let's start. Affiliate marketing is only for big brands with a huge budgets.
Myth.
Okay. Affiliate marketing is just set and forget revenue stream.
Super cliche, but myth.
Okay. All e-commerce affiliates are coupon sites or cashback platforms.
Definitely myth.
Okay. The more affiliate you have, the more sales you will generate.
The more quality affiliate you have, the more sales you'll generate. But I would say that's a fact as a general statement without
Okay.
getting into the details.
Okay. Paying high commission rates is the only way to attract top affiliates.
Myth.
Okay. Affiliate relationship, it's a partnership, not just transactions.
Fact. For the most
Affiliate
part.
program can damage your brand perception if it's unmanaged.
Definitely fact.
Okay. Affiliate marketing can be leading channel for customer acquisition.
It shouldn't be, but it can be. So you asked the question can be, so then it's a fact, I guess. It shouldn't
it's
be
kind
though.
of it's kind of interesting why it should be, because in my perspective it can be. It really can be, because but anyway,
Yeah,
let's
it can be, but you should be doing more than just affiliate in general as a company. But that's a longer answer, I guess. But so it's like half fact, half myth,
yeah.
I guess.
Okay. Setting up an affiliate program is too complicated and require technical knowledge.
Depends what kind of program, but as a general statement, myth.
Okay. If affiliates are not performing, it's always their fault.
100% true. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's definitely a myth.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Anton from Tapfiliate marketing team, and this is our podcast, Tapfiliate Growth Lab. And today is one of the best, I think, affiliate manager in the field, in my perspective. Istvan Torpoy, aka that affiliate guy, and he will introduce himself.
All right. So thank you for having me, Anton. Nice to be here. Just a quick one for the ones that have never heard of me before. Istvan Torpoy, like you said, aka that affiliate guy. The agency that I'm currently running is an acronym for that affiliate guy. It's called TAG. So that just kept it simple. We typically help e-commerce brands to scale their affiliate program globally. Main focus is on Europe, a bit of the US, and a bit of the UK. We don't really focus on the other regions as of yet too much. And we also do, so other than e-commerce, we also do like financial products, so like loans, insurances, stuff like that. And recently we also jumped into SaaS, which is also kind of interesting. So I always try to stay away from it, but life has its ways. And now we're also doing SaaS. So that's interesting. So B2B a bit less. It requires a lot more and a lot more to launch a program. And the sales cycles in general are also a lot longer. So it's a completely different ball game than doing regular e-commerce / financial products, B2C. So that's why we focus more on the first.
You focus more on these affiliate programs for a lot of customers, right? Like not big, like B2C, G2C, and etc., where the audience kind of a huge one
So
of a brand.
B2C is the main audience, yes.
Okay, okay, got it. And let's start from our podcast topic, beyond the launch, mastering the art of managing an affiliate program. And the first questions, kind of unpacking a rapid fire. What are the most common mistakes brand make after launching affiliate program? Top 5.
Oh, I think maybe it's a bit easier to do top three, but let's see. Basically, it's basically one of the myths or facts that you asked about. It's setting up the program and then basically just not doing anything about it, hoping that revenue will come in without actually activating anybody, without inviting anybody. Uh, and when you do activate people, you just let it run. You don't really pay attention to things happening anymore. So that's I guess it's a super cliche one, but that happens quite a lot. And then when you check in with the people that are managing it a year later or something, you ask them some details, they don't really know that many answers to your question. So yeah, they're not really managing it. Let's put it that way. Then another one is not vetting your affiliates. I think that's a pretty big one as well. So I constantly write about this on LinkedIn. It's actually a big problem in the industry. That's also why we work with a bunch of fraud monitoring tools. I try to well, I wouldn't say expose, but just bring more awareness to these topics because they actually happen a lot. And like for example, I think yesterday I posted something about like certain affiliates using sub networks to basically try and claim commission for programs where they don't really get access themselves. So they try to do it through a sub network who does get access to the program because the affiliate manager on the brand side doesn't really pay attention to the sub network. They just think, okay, cool, just activate, and then you see a lot of so basically like that post said, redirect chains, a lot of coupon stuff going live even though you don't want it as a brand, but that ends up happening. So it's things like that, or brand bidding, ad hijacking, cookie stuffing. I mean, there's a very long list of things that can go wrong, but I think that's one of the biggest problems that people experience or brands experience. Let's say merchants, by the way, in this case, instead of brand, let's just use the word merchant. So somebody selling something, because it can also be a reseller, not just a brand.
Yeah.
Basically, so that's a number two, I would say. So not vetting your affiliates. Number three is definitely kind of it goes in line with the first two, and that's also not checking the metrics for what's happening in the program. So they just see some revenue coming in. Okay, cool, everybody's happy. That's the easiest approach, but we're constantly looking at numbers. So, like a practical example, Monday, doing reporting, so pulling data from different networks for one of the brands instantly, just because I see this weird number on a day, there's just a huge spike in revenue. I
Mm.
instantly know that it's probably a fraudulent sale. So, I don't want to bash on cashbacks here because they're not really 100% at fault here. It's not them actually doing it, it's the users that abuse their platforms. So I instantly saw again another one. There's like 6,000 euros of order value on one sale. That's insane. That doesn't happen when the brand is on average doing like 70 euros of order value. So not paying attention to the metrics, like more other than just we have a lot of revenue, but actually looking at where does the revenue come from, what are the conversion rates, how much traffic are they sending, what kind of traffic are they sending, knowing what your affiliates are doing as well. So it's basically just paying attention to the numbers. They indicate potentially that some things might not be going well. Then I would say number four is not updating your materials. So I don't know if we're going to talk about this one or not, but basically, a lot of, let's say, top media buyers, they don't want to use the merchants' predetermined visuals,
Yeah.
right? Because they either don't, they're not that great, or they follow just a strict, rigid brand guideline, which doesn't always translate to good conversions and stuff. So let's say Meta or something, or TikTok. So the affiliates, the media buyers, they would then prefer to make their own visuals. But there are also a bunch of affiliates that do use the visuals that the merchant provides because they don't have the time, they don't have the experience of media buying, they don't have this creative angle testing things going on. So they just use what's provided. So you should always have a default banner set. We've done plenty of audits where you go into the program and you see the last visuals were updated like in 2022, which is like crazy to me because I can also understand why people that are using, let's say, display guys, they do want to use your visuals because you might actually have some good ones. You haven't updated them. You have banner fatigue, things like this. They just stop promoting you because you're just, you have the same visuals for 3 years and you have different promotions on the website. So they should correspond as well. You can't keep promoting just what's it called, a flat let's say, new collection type of visual when you actually
Yeah.
have like 30% discount on the website, which could boost conversions, right? So that's just a stupid example, but it really happens a lot. So visual product feed updates, the same thing. So creatives includes product feed. So I would say media library, just not updating that, not including enough of things in your product feeds, so for product feeds, by the way, an affiliate would rather receive too much information in the product feed because then they can eliminate certain things that they don't want to use rather than have to try and scrape the website for the extra data to try and enhance the product feed themselves, which costs them extra time. And yeah, it just becomes a hassle if you have to manage like 1,000 different campaigns. So yeah, make their life easier by updating all that stuff. So I would say that. And then payouts also definitely is, I think, a pretty big one, especially the bigger the affiliates get, the faster they want to get paid. One of the biggest issues in e-commerce is you have turnaround time, so payout timelines of like 90 to 120 days. So from the moment the affiliate spends their money, they get their money only on the approved commission. So they first have to wait 2 months for approvals of the order so they know what's happening. That's also why a lot of them, when you launch them, they ask you, okay, what are the return rates, right? So the rejection rates, what is happening there? Because then they can anticipate and they can already say, okay, cool. If I spend 100K, on paper I've made 500K, but we're gonna get 10% rejected, so I'm probably gonna get paid around 450K. So they can make their own assumptions and calculations and stuff, and that happens a lot. And then they have to wait another 2 months to actually get paid that money, which is like completely insane to me. It's kind of I would say in the in the EU, it's actually quite standard practice, but yeah, affiliates are so used to it that they have to wait 90 days on average. It's insane. Me as an affiliate, I guess I would have two streams of things going. One, okay, this is the reality of, let's say, a lot of European merchants. And then I would also focus on things that pay out faster. So like, I don't know, net 15, net 30, maybe net 45 or something like this, right? So yeah, that's a pretty big problem as well. Forgetting to pay an invoice, that adds an extra month to the problem. Forgetting to validate conversions on time, that adds an extra month to the delay. So it can even, dude, I've seen sales being paid out 168 days later. So you wait half a year almost to get paid. That's insane.
Half a
So
year, it's insane, for sure.
so your cash flow is going down the drain, man. It's that
Yeah,
happens. So I would say
but
those are like the top five things, to be honest.
but I think it's like the biggest issue here about these payouts and this time for paying. It's because setting up and forget, because most of the brands, they don't want to be put their foot in the shoes of affiliates. Like, why someone will wait half a year? Why they will promote the brand? If you were this affiliate, will you promote them?
If it's popular enough, and if the
No, of course it's
so you
if it's a
tested it,
big
but
brand.
yeah. But imagine maybe it's not even a big brand, but it's like a popular product and it converts pretty well. And then you're like, oh, but wait, actually, I'm making a lot of money on this, but I have to wait. So then you kind of have to make your own decision. Am I willing to wait? Yes or no? And you basically shift up your whole cash flow for like 3 to 5, 6 months, which is, again, it's crazy, but you have to make your own decisions whether you want to do that. Just want to quickly touch on that because you actually mentioned something. So it doesn't always depend on whether it's set and forget. It's actually also dependent on, okay, most brands, it still happens nowadays, they don't use APIs for validations. So you can validate sales automated real time. So as
Mhm.
soon as the CRM of the was it CRM CMS, right?
Mhm.
Of the merchant, as soon as somebody returns the order, their status changes in the CMS. That status can instantly be pushed as a rejected
Yeah.
conversion to the network. Unfortunately, I don't have a percentage, to be honest, but the vast majority of programs, they don't use that. So the funny thing is, I think in the last 3 years we tried to pitch it to every single brand, and most of them were like, oh, but we need resources, we needed to put the developer to work, we have other
Yeah.
priorities. And that's where it goes wrong, and then it doesn't get done, and then basically you're doing manual validations every month, right? So yes, and in combination with the set and forget mentality, then you're going to run into the problem of, oh, I forgot. Okay, you get a reminder from the network, by the way, you have like 2 months outstanding worth of sales. It's been like 90 days. There is a sale fail safe for this. Most networks have an automated approval time period. So if you within, I think on like in the EU is at least, so the recent cases like 30 days, 45 days after the sale happens, if you haven't validated it,
They
because
approve
the vast
automatically.
majority of e-commerce, the return times are like 14 to 30 days, right? So you can return the
Yeah,
product within 14 to 30 days. So then they, if you don't do it on time, they don't care. They just auto approve the conversion.
makes
So then
sense.
it's, which is fine. So if you don't take the responsibility to actually approve and respect everything, this whole process, then you're just going to end up paying, even if you didn't get that money because the orders got canceled. Well, then you should have validated on time. Let's be honest about it too. So that's a fail safe. But you also have so situations where, for example, we launch a brand, the 30-day period, it's and we don't have API connection, right?
Mhm.
Which is adding that manual part. We can't be validating sales every week because then also the invoicing structure for the brand, for the merchant, it gets messed up because then they can't easily place because they're always thinking in months. And
Yeah,
then if you
yeah,
do
yeah.
it every week, then on one invoice, you're going to have like 2 weeks of last month, maybe 1 week of this month in conversions. And then it gets messed up in terms of like spends and budget allocation, stuff like this. They can't place it, right? So what then happens is you say, okay, cool. Let's say June passed, the last day of June 30. That's we measure up until 23:59 in the at night. We record the last conversion. Then we count the 30-day return period if the brand has 30 days. If they
Yeah.
have 14 days, then you wait 14 days from the last day of the previous month. So you already have in the month, so let's say June, in July 15th, let's just assume the 14-day return period. July 15th, you're gonna validate the conversions because you have the status of all that. You're already most likely, in most cases, for most of the networks, you've already missed the invoicing flow. So you're already not getting the invoice, which means that that validation will come with the next invoice, which means that you then only receive it in August. And then the affiliate obviously only gets paid most of the time if you don't have a prepayment in your program. Once that invoice is paid by the merchant. So the merchant, let's say it takes them 3 weeks to pay. And I'm telling you, this is really messed up actually for affiliates. So then in August, imagine the payouts to affiliates happens on the 20th, but the brand pays the invoice on the 23rd. Then they've already missed that round as well. So then the affiliate only gets paid in September with the next round.
It
So the,
sounds like actually, and I agree. All this affiliate marketing, it becomes harder and harder for NU affiliates because, like, if you don't have this foundation, this budget to end time to wait half a year of money return, you won't go to affiliate world at all because, like, I think, of course, for a lot of affiliates at the moment, active one who on a market in, I don't know, few years, they know this like a normal practice. Wait for your
per
money
vertical, by the way. Yeah,
return,
yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah.
and they get used to it already. It's not a big deal for big affiliates because they tracking their cash flow um, in some ways. But for new affiliates, it might be a real problem. Like if you like, for if you are a specialist in a media bar specialist, and you decided, okay, I will start with affiliate marketing, you won't. if
You,
you
you
don't
you
have
need
if you
you
don't
need a
have
lot of
free
cash.
money,
Yeah.
you won't.
So that's a bit of a sad fact to be honest, but you would then try to select programs. So you need to get cash flow going first, right? So then my advice is select programs where they have fast turnaround payout or turnaround. So let's say payout terms. So don't wait for. I mean, a lot of networks also when you sign up as an affiliate, they also have the stats for you as an affiliate, right? You can see, let's say so, for example, you can see the percentage of application approval. So, how many of the affiliates
Yeah.
that apply get approved? You see that. You also see the average conversion rate in the program. You also see the average EPCs in the programs. So, stuff like this. So, you can already kind of do your research and try and find one that matches you and say, okay, but I need cash fast. So, yes, I don't have a lot of cash to burn. So, I'm going to try and focus on the brands that fit my what you said expertise, that what I feel comfortable with pushing, and yeah, and then if they say like, we pay every 15 days, that's great. Like that's everybody can live with that, to be honest. Even 30 days, everybody can live with that
Yeah,
still as well. But once it gets past that point, then you should ask yourself questions. Okay, can I actually hold this out? Can I take the risk? Yes or no? Yeah. So you have to make that choice, man, based on, and you have to do this research. You can't just start promoting every single brand. And the media buyers are the ones that have the biggest problem because they have to put the cash up front. And media buyers
yeah,
includes social, display, programmatic,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
search, like in Google Shopping. I mean, all that stuff, right? If you're an SEO guy, it doesn't matter unless you're using paid traffic to drive to your website. But as an SEO, pure SEO, the website's live anyway. So you're not really
yeah,
losing
yeah,
out. So
yeah.
you can already take the risk. So, yes, media buyers are the ones that are running the biggest risk in doing
The
this.
same if you are like a organic social influencer.
E-
You're always doing like new content, and for you
Exactly.
it's like a ACO. You just need to put a link, okay, promote it. But I think okay, for influencers, in it's a bit a different story. They paying not by conversions, but I think for collaboration. It kind of
It
it's
depends also.
different
Depends.
kind of partnership, not like a typical affiliate partnership. Okay, let we a bit off track. Let's go
Oh,
back to our questions. The second one actually related to affiliates as well, and I know that a lot of affiliates from time to time they stop. I don't know, promoting some brands, and we know why because, like, we just discussed it. And what do you think? Is it worth to keep affiliates uh, motivated, or maybe not really?
that's a difficult question, actually. There's no like flat answer to this. So, without speaking another 10 minutes on one question, uh,
Like a short.
yeah. Let's try to say it like this. We actually had this case as well. So, we launched a brand. I think it was last year in March, something like that. Competition is paying like even up to 100% in commissions. Our brand didn't want to do that, so they said, we're not going to do that. We're doing 70%. So we're already at a disadvantage. I spoke to some affiliates that I know from running other campaigns, and they all gave it a shot. But funny enough, most of them at some point they stopped because they didn't get the return on investment that they were looking for. Me, as the manager of that program, or the guys that are reaching out to also to potential things, they don't have any ammunition for, well, to keep them happy at some point, because what happens is you can only give so much commission increases. You can only give so much bonuses. Most of the brands we work with, they also expect a certain ROAS, right? So return
Yeah,
on ad
yeah,
spend, so, or ROI, whatever the hell you want to call it. uh, the more you give to everybody, the closer you get to your max ROAS, and then you just don't have the room to do that anymore. You can try and give them all the creative angles you can give. You can try to give them unique landing pages, stuff like this, converting like funnels. You can try and give them as much as you want. You can give them freebies, and let's say just give them some free products to keep them happy and be like, hey, we're cool. So, by the way, it all starts with the relationships. The better relationship you have with them, let's just not. There's so many factors involved, and again, popularity of the brand,
yeah,
markets, which ones you're pushing, etc. But let's just assume the basics, that everybody is as popular, right? Just for the sake of conversation, your relationships allow you to run things longer than you normally would. So that's a very important factor right here. So they will do, even if they're not profitable the first month two, even month three, they will still keep it going to see if they can optimize. So they will actually try also because of your relationship. Um, at some point, though, you just have to cut your losses. So I'm going to be honest about that. These affiliates, if they stop, you've tried everything. You can't give any more money. The brand doesn't want to create new funnels. The brand doesn't want to, well, make changes to their websites. Imagine you have those cases. There's nothing you can do yourself. So what do? You just let them go. Like, in all honesty, I'm just being super honest. You have to let them go. So I
yeah,
had to let go of those guys as well. There's no way I can get them back because the data was already so bad for so long that
yeah,
there's nothing I can do myself. The brand doesn't want to do it. They don't see the importance. They, again, corporate structures, they're just not going to do it. Not a priority for them, right? So then you move on to the next one, see who can make it work. And it's like a never ending battle. But honestly, unless you can then make some fundamental changes. So again, like commission structures, tiers, incentives in payouts, whatever, it's not going to save your offer because there's fundamentally something else wrong. Otherwise, it would have been converting already in the first place to a certain degree. So that's the point when you also just have to say, okay, cool, I don't get this space. I'm gonna just give up on these guys and let's try to find other people that are willing to send traffic, and hopefully they will convert. So that's just the painful reality of this. Like I don't know what other people would say, but you can't convince everybody to stay on board. You can't keep trying to reactivate everybody because I mean they've already told you it doesn't convert or their ROI they've lost money. So why
Yeah.
would you keep trying and just respect them as well? Stop wasting their time. Just focus on new things.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. And actually, it's kind of a bit point you've mentioned. It's a bit off topic of our conversation and my questions, but I can't not ask it. How many brands really actually calculate their maximum commission that they can allow themselves to be? Like, because
Oof.
I know that a lot, I think, and I see a lot of brands, they just decide, like, let's it be this percentage. How many of them calculate, and what if not, how many of them are profitable?
Okay. Okay. Wow. That's. Okay. Let me try to keep this also kind of to the point. It depends per markets as well. So let's say in the US, they have a different mindset in general from what I've
Uh-huh.
seen in the last 2 years because I've been a bit more active in this. I learned more since running my own business actually than in the 7 years doing work, agency work. From that tunnel vision, it's insane. Actually, I've seen so many things that I also understand now that the EU has a more greedy mindset in
Uh-huh.
general. Yeah. So what they do is they try to maximize the profitability on the initial sale. In the
Uh-huh.
US, for example, they have a completely different approach. So something can cost $60 for the end user for the consumer, but they're willing to pay $80 or $90 for that conversion, right? So they're willing to invest more just to get that sale in from quality sources like media buying because it's a more expensive to do, and
All
then they
right.
make money on the retention of the customers. So this is just e-com. So this is not about rev
Yeah. Yeah.
shares like in other
Mhm.
verticals or SaaS or whatever. But basically, they try to make money on the retention. The EU doesn't have that mindset as much. So what they try to do is just okay, cool. We're only looking purely at the first sale, and we just try to squeeze as much as we possibly can out of it. So what I always do is I ask them, okay, what is your ROAS in search right now? So your intent traffic, what is your ROAS in social? Your colder traffic, your interest traffic, right? Because that's a lot colder. So your meta stuff as a brand or as a merchant, it costs you a lot more to convert generally again, than for example search traffic, because search is already it's warmer traffic because it's really intent based and
It's
capturing
kind of
reaction, right?
competitive in US
And it's
especially.
dude, US is again completely different market. So there you have to pay more. Anyway, in the EU, I always use those as my benchmarks as well and say, okay, cool. Depending on the traffic and affiliate as well, we're gonna use like a mix between your meta and your search, just so we have those as our ballparks and say this is gonna be our minimum ROAS.
Uh-huh.
So we have to do at least as well as you do it in your own channels, but we can do it a lot better. So then we start off low because we know how the markets work. So we always try to start off lower, see who, well, just try to generate like a minimum baseline. And then we still have a lot of room in the commission to actually incentivize people to do better. We see, so for example, one of the brands recently, I also had to increase the Google Shopping guys, their CPS, so the commission, the percentage, because they dipped. And why did they dip? Like in April, May,
Mhm.
because Google became more expensive, but it
Yeah.
also became more expensive for the brand itself as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So not just on the lower end keywords that the affiliates are focusing on, it became more expensive overall. So we had to pay a little bit more. So if we didn't do that lower start with the commissions as a default, we couldn't do this kind of increase. So if you start off right away on a high commission without thinking this through, you don't have that room anymore later to say, oh wait, but we're actually overpaying on a lot of things right now. We don't have room to wiggle anymore. Then to answer the question, actually, so what you asked, for example, that's one of the approaches we do for the deal negotiation. So we see this all the time. Every time we get pitched a deal, like, oh, it costs you 3,000 euros to do this deal. You're going to get this
Mhm.
many impressions. This is approximately what they do for sale for the competition. We've done this, like, I don't know, 3 months ago. These are about the stats. This was the deal, and then you look at the deal, and it's like, okay, we have to pay them 20% commission. We have to pay them. We have to give them an offer of 25% discount on the website. We have to give
Mhm.
them free shipping for those users, for the consumers, for that deal as well. Plus, we have to pay the 3K. And then when
Yeah.
you calculate everything back, you're like, wait, but this is, it doesn't matter how much revenue we generate. Uh, or actually, no, it does matter. But at the point of revenue that you're going to generate, it's you're not going to make it. Like we know for a
Yeah.
fact, based on the competitors' data that you give us, there's no way for a less known brand that we're trying to push now that even with those conditions, you're not going to make that revenue for us that we need to break even on the profit. Because if you make 5K in revenue, but you're making actually a loss on your profit, like what's the point of doing this deal then? So
Yeah.
that's a problem a lot of brands were doing. So there was a brand as well, they went bankrupt because they had all kinds of deals like this. They were just throwing around money, just giving discounts everywhere. And then because the people were looking at the wrong metrics, they were looking at revenue. So to answer the question is I have no idea actually, but a lot of brands don't actually look at this kind of stuff, and that's why we kill a lot of deals because they're just not profitable, and we don't care about vanity metrics like revenue, because revenue is fun in games, but if you can't make enough of it and you're making us pay all this money up front without giving us any guarantees of anything, yeah, why are we going to take the risk then? Because most likely, like 95, 98% sure, you're not going to give us the minimum that we need to actually at least break even on the profit part. So yeah, it's a difficult question, man. I want to go off and talk about this kind of stuff, but it's insane. I don't know
Yeah.
how many people actually do it. So one of the advices I can give in this, when you do research, when you want to launch an affiliate program, is do competitive analysis, see what other people are paying, which is what a lot of people do, right? So when they launch a program, they're like, oh, competition pays 10%, or they pay, let's say they pay 25%, but you don't know their tactics, you don't know their business mentality, you don't know their strategy of how to run the business.
You don't
So
know their budget. They
you don't know the
can
budget,
have,
you don't
I don't
know
know, millions investments, for example.
it, just to blow up, like let's say get
Yeah.
market share value, right? But if you
Yeah.
as a business want to stay profitable, don't blindly follow footsteps of what your competitors are doing, for example. So then calculate that stuff into your own strategy, into your own profit margins, and see if it makes sense to do that, and adjust your expectations too. So if even if you think you're like top three of your competition, but those guys are paying 25%, but you calculate the stuff back and you're like, wait, but I can only pay 15% maximum, maximum, sorry, maximum, then don't expect to do the same volumes as they are doing as well. So if the network then tells you, oh, but they are doing about like, I don't know, 10 million in revenue per year, don't expect that you're going to be doing that exact same number too. So these are the kind of things I can advise people who are listening to do. Don't just blindly follow other people's commissions. Look at your own structures too, and honestly try to focus on profitability if that's your goal. If you have a lot of, could you said, money to burn and budget to spend, okay, then you can go a bit crazier and try to get market share, pay a bunch of money to everybody just to be everywhere and online, and then it will hopefully pay itself back within a certain time frame, right? But if you want the results right now, yeah, you have to be a bit more granular on your approach. But we've seen a lot of brands that don't calculate that actually.
Yeah.
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 Sorry
It's
for the long answer, but it's just this is like a deep topic, man. It's like I want to go off and discuss all these real life scenarios that we've seen, and then how it, yeah, how people just don't do it, but then others do it, right? But actually, the percentage what we've seen wasn't that great. So I would think that most brands they just take what's average in the industry, what their competitors are doing. They just take averages from that because the networks also tell them
yeah.
they're like, hey,
Yeah.
you should sit around this percentage, but then they don't generally kind of calculate what it means for their profitability as a business.
Well, as any of marketing channel, it should be calculated before launching. Definitely, and affiliates, it's not exception. When I was a media buyer, I've experienced a lot the same cases when brands they want to run. It's not affiliate program. It's not so complicated. They would like to run like usual, I don't know, Google search campaign, kind of. And they a lot of them they asking, okay, let's run and this bring us revenue. And then I ask, okay, but what is your profitability? And they say like, I know, 100, $200 from a deal. And you're like, okay, but do you know what is the cost per click in your niche in this market that you're gonna target? They know, like, and I'm checking like in top keywords, the best keywords. Like, okay, depends maybe on not super hot keywords, but anyway, it starts like from $10 to $30, and you're like, guys, if you have a profitability around 200, it's not profitable because not every click will convert in a purchase. Not a, like, and you
Well,
will
if it's costing them $30 and you have to
just a
know the
click,
conversion.
just a
Yeah, yeah,
click,
yeah.
not a conversion, just a
Some
click for
dude,
advertisement.
there are some industries where it's like $100 plus per click. That's insane.
Yeah,
But the thing is, the order value, so the deal size value,
yeah, yeah,
is so high. It's like in the tens and thousands, right? It makes sense. But yeah, you need to obviously calculate. So if they say
exactly,
100,
exactly.
200 profitability, but you need to know what's your CPA,
Yeah,
what's your average order value, and then what's your profitability in between, so you can actually make the calculations
yeah,
if it makes
yeah,
sense for you to actually give it a try. Yes, and then
yeah,
also the rejection rate. So imagine they also reject sales too.
yeah,
Then you,
exactly.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
As we
true.
discussed already a bit metrics, let's dive deeper a bit more. What are the key metrics that should be tracked, measured after the affiliate program is launching? Top, like, okay, profitability is the biggest one, the most, but
Depends. Yeah, 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 no, I hear you. So it depends again. So profitability, I would put myself on a high spot, especially for e-commerce, but it also depends on which market and what the setup is on what I mentioned, like the US versus EU mentality. If they are focused more on the retention side and then they know they can generate more money, then the profitability is not the main one that you should be looking at for the initial sale, right? So again, that one depends on the country plus the mindset of the company and stuff. I would say that generally, doesn't matter where you are, one of the main things is conversion rates. That's the metric you should be looking at. So, phew, you can have an affiliate that's sending a lot of traffic. So imagine, I'll just use an example
like,
case. There's a cashback affiliate that's sending out, so in Belgium, Netherlands, sending out emails. They can do like 10,000 clicks, but they only convert, let's say, like 0.1% or 0.4% of the time. But they do generate every time they send out a blast email, they do convert. So you can also say to yourself, so we had this case, and the brand is like, uh, oh, but we had a huge drop in conversion rates. What happened? I said, yeah, but that's because we did an email shoot with these guys, and we did get like, I don't know, what is it, like 16,000 euros back in revenue. So they make up for being consistent. So
yeah,
you can take that damage basically, right? But in general, so like let's go back to media buyers. If your funnel doesn't convert, so that's why the conversion depends again on the brand, what kind of stuff you're pushing, right? Conversion rates is one of the things that I'm looking at quite often. Is so if somebody's converting really well, you want to know, how can I increase your traffic then? What can I do to help you to increase your traffic? Because obviously your audience, you're converting well, so it can be a content site, it can be a media buyer. How far can you go and maintain your conversion rate the same level? And I'll try and help you get more traffic. So if I need to increase, let's say you need to invest a little bit more back into Google, right?
mhm,
At some point you're going to lose your conversion because it's going to start going a bit broader, right? So again, that usually happens once you increase the budget. Your ROAS tends to go down a little bit because your clicks start
yeah.
converting maybe a bit less because you focus on different keywords, things like this. So you have to check where the fine line is, what's acceptable to you. So I don't know. This is a very complicated question as well, actually, to answer
But
quickly. But basically, conversion rates,
mhm,
and I would say, yeah, let's just keep it simple and say revenue volume. So if you activated an affiliate and they're sending just a few clicks and they're not generating a lot of revenue, and you talk to them and you try to optimize, I don't know, let's use an example. You activated an email affiliate, they sent out one or two blasts and they didn't convert on your offers. What do you think the chances are that they're going to convert the third time?
Zero.
A
But
lot lower.
depend. Okay, yeah, depends.
A lot lower in general, right?
Yeah,
So you can test a few different angles of the offer, different discounts, different type of products, maybe. But at some point, it just stops. Then it doesn't make sense. But you want to focus on the affiliates that actually generate revenue for you, because the more revenue you make, generally, the more profitable you're also going to be, right? Um, Regardless of your setup, like the US EU mentality thing. So just in general, revenue, conversion rates, definitely, and also amount of traffic. So how much are these guys actually, how much reach are they creating? How many people are they actually bringing to the website? Because people that don't convert, that's another bonus of affiliate generally, is you can put them into retargeting pools. So you're running retargeting as a brand. That's like basically saying that's like free traffic for you in general. If you're just on CPA,
kind of.
CPLs type of stuff, not on CPCs or CPMs, whatever, just right on actual conversion type commission structures, that's basically free traffic for you. So I would say the more traffic they can generate, but if they're not generating any revenue or not converting, that's why these three things are like intertwined together. What's the point of having them? They're basically messing up. Also, your retargeting pools become clouded with people that are not converting at all, not even an affiliate. What's the chance that all the other people that haven't converted are going to convert through retargeting? Probably also a bit lower. So you're also increasing your costs in retargeting for no reason. So you have to be a little bit careful with that stuff as well. So that's why I say traffic, conversion rate, revenue. I would say those are like the top three metrics you should be looking at in general.
And let's summarize a bit. Um, um, because make it a bit more clear. Conversion rate not in total, but on type of affiliates, right? Because conversion
Not
rate
even type, not even type of affiliates, just per affiliate.
per affiliate, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because like for different affiliates, it can be different, and if one brings, I know, thousands of visitors to you and convert 0.0, it's a matter of why it's not converting. It's maybe because it's not relevant audience or maybe something else. But anyway, but like conversion are based on affiliate, okay, profitability,
Yeah.
okay, and traffic. Well, actually, about traffic, I'm a bit biased because I'm running our paid activities as well, and for me, if this traffic not converting, it won't fill my retargeting campaigns because I filter this audience by some engagement data, and if this traffic irrelevant, they won't do anything on a website. They won't scroll, they won't click, they won't check,
Hmm.
and I don't put them in retargeting. But
But
anyway,
most brands don't exclude. At least from what I've seen, they just put everybody back into the bucket. So I was just giving like a general answer because again, there's so many
yeah,
nuances to this that it's yeah, it's what I said as well. It's like it's free traffic, right? So if you do exclude it, for example, and they don't convert, well, you can just keep them out of your retargeting and just use that as free branding for your
yeah,
brand,
yeah.
basically. So it really,
If it's
man,
not fake visits and real
exactly,
visits, it's
yeah,
just brand awareness. Consider it
exactly,
as like a brand awareness.
exactly.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
and ROI profitability, that's another one as well,
yeah. Let's
obviously.
jump to the last one. Actually, like your best top advice to brands to stay proactive, not reactive, in managing their affiliate channel. Like your top advice.
Think like an affiliate. So I'm sorry if that might sound a bit cliche, but put yourself in the shoes of the affiliate, especially if it's people that are, let's say, making comparisons about you, writing reviews about you, creating YouTube content about you, uh, creating just I get UGC, people that are investing money into media buying for you, right? So if you don't convert, try and help them. So think about them, how to make them make money, because if they make money to the
You will
best of
make
your
money.
ability, then obviously everybody will make more money, right? So I think that's the best advice I can give: is don't underestimate affiliate. Don't treat it like a, I don't know, like an afterthought. Don't try to use it to, well, squeeze the market, because it really doesn't work like that. The more sales you want, the more presence you want to have, you're gonna have to treat it like a proper channel. Um, yeah, and just think how to make them make more money. That's, I think, the main thing that I can say, definitely. So um, if you're just saying, yeah, but we will never pay more than 4%, so that as an example, you're 4%, you're giving 4%, but you can actually go up to, I don't know, 10, 12%. Let's just use that as an example. Don't be greedy all the time. Like, just actually tell them at some point, like, okay, guys, listen, I can actually pay you a bit more. Is there anything we can do? Can we create an extra landing page for you with special products, with special offers? Is there something that you need, what you feel is necessary, and talk to them about it openly, and actually do it. Don't just talk about it, and actually do it. I'm not even talking about like all those newsletters that you're sending out with product updates, but do it on a level. So the ones that are actually generating something for you. So either a lot of traffic, either sales or whatever. So the active ones, talk to them individually and actually try to think about how to make their life easier and more profitable as well. You will thank me later if you do that.
Yeah. It's more and more people-centered marketing approach, kind
Yeah,
of.
definitely. Might be very cliche, but definitely that's, yeah. Like I said before, the better relationships you have, the more you can actually stretch things when things are getting tough, because of the relationship. But always try to think about them. Stop. Don't be stingy and greedy.
It's kind of cliche, but at the same time, actually, I think a lot of brands, from my experience, they really forget about it. They not thinking about people-centered marketing as a approach since Google ads appear. They start thinking about only numbers and nothing else. But finally, right now, because of a competition, because of this all AIs, etc., marketing again become marketing. You again start thinking, putting you in the shoes on your affiliates because they promote you. You're putting you in the shoes of your customers because they buy your products, and not just the numbers.
Well, okay, but I would like to think that. I would like to think that, but just by doing audits, I mean, that's why there's always something that you can audit, because people don't do it most of the time. They don't do it. Like recently, I saw on LinkedIn as well about Helium 10, about the company where they literally saw all the affiliates help them build their company for like 6 years. They had like rev share, lifetime rev share, stuff like this, and all of a sudden, they send out like a. They basically masked an update to the payouts. They killed all the lifetime commissions. They only did one-time commission on the first
Okay.
sale, so they increased that one, but you only get one-time payment now. Um, and they hid that message inside of just a regular update email, which most people might scan through, right? They just might be like, it's another update, don't need it, I'm cool, I won't read it. And then it turns out, oh wait, that update contained that I'm gonna lose 90% of my income now every month. So that's like a perfect example of a big company as well that just doesn't really give a shit. Excuse my language, but that happens a lot. So in the Netherlands as well. I mean, this was affiliates helped them build the program. They massively promoted them, and then they just shut the program down. They're like, "Nah, we don't need you anymore. We don't care. We're just gonna close it." So without any notice, they just closed it. The same thing, by the way. They just killed recently. They just killed all the content guys, all the guys that write about them and actually promote certain bookings and stays. So they don't just, it's not like a coupon website posting fake stuff. These guys are actually writing about certain
Yeah,
places.
yeah,
So they have a story. You go to this location. By the way, you can book this hotel. You can
yeah,
book
yeah,
through
yeah.
Booking. So they actually put in effort to this. They just killed them. They said, cool. We're not going to pay you your commissions that are going to happen after the closure of this stay. Sorry, after the closure of the program.
Yeah.
But contractually, they actually have to pay because it just says that in the agreement. So they kind of
it was a weird message, so it created a lot of problems and stuff. So I don't know. A lot of people are unhappy, but they just don't respect people and they just shut down. They don't communicate with anything and anybody. You know what they did as well? They said, "Oh, but we're gonna relaunch on another network. Here's a sign up link. You can promote us there." It's like, dude, you're literally spitting in my face, and then now you're telling me to sign up for your new program, like on the new platform. Why do you think I would gonna continue promoting you? Same thing with the Helium 10 guys. They're gonna promote competition now because they're like, okay, this was such a dirty move that I'm not gonna do it anymore. So they lost a lot of people. So that's it still happens, man. So I would like to believe what you said, and I would like to think that this is gonna the way we're going to, but it's still like a very underestimated channel. People don't understand the nuances of it, and they do treat it like an afterthought. It's like, okay, what you said, just some numbers, cool. Let's just generate revenue, and then what the worst part is, they duplicate against a bunch of other paid channels. So instead of changing the commission model of the program, saying, wait. So attribution wise, it turns out that affiliate is actually more top mid funnel. We see them in our customer journeys all the time, but another channel is converting the sale. Maybe you should then just lower your commissions in your program instead of just completely deleting all the sales. So you still respect the traffic and you still respect the value of those clicks that happened. I've seen this many times, by the way. I'm not going to say names, obviously, now, but it happens a lot. They just abuse affiliate because they can. That's the whole problem as well. It really happens a lot. They just reject sales just because they can. I've seen people also talking about anyway, I don't want to get in too much into it now, but we need more respect for this because it's people at the end of the day, not a machine like Google, not a machine like Meta. You go into the system, do a few clicks, you have a campaign live. No, this is people, this is their livelihood. This is somebody working their ass off to run a business. And yeah, if you don't treat them like people, they're not going to work with you anymore. So it's simple as that.
Be human no matter what.
Yeah. And try to think like the affiliate. If
Yeah.
you were the affiliate, would you be okay with these terms? That's basically what it comes down to.